WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5.
March Madness is underway, and tonight the Michigan State Spartans take to the floor. It's our top story at 5. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Sherry is off tonight. Following a victory last night from the University of Michigan Wolverines over UC San Diego, the Spartans are hoping for a similar result. The team takes on the Bryant Bulldogs in Cleveland at 10 o'clock, and that's where we find John Sable. He joins us now live from Rocket Arena. What's going on out there, John?
Well, let me tell you, Michigan State is well represented here in Cleveland. There's a sea of green everywhere, even though there's a game going on behind us. Spartan fans are all over the concourse here at Rocket Arena. And, you know, Tom Izzo and the Spartans have good memories of playing NCAA tournament games here in the city of Cleveland. Because remember, back in 2000, that's the year they won the national championship, and those games first started here in Cleveland. But Coach Izzo and the Spartans know tonight won't be easy, as fellow number 2 seed Alabama learned this afternoon when 15th seeded Robert Morris gave them a tough test in the first game of the day. Of course, the Spartans won the Big Ten regular season championship before a tough loss in the conference tournament to Wisconsin, but that may have been a blessing in disguise thanks to a few extra days of rest to prepare for the NCAA tournament. They face a talented Bryant team tonight, which is 17-2 since the calendar turned to 2025. So the Spartans know they need a victory tonight to avoid that upset tip-off tonight here, the late game here at 10 o'clock against the Bryant Bulldogs. Reporting here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, John Sable, back to you.
Thank you, John. And be sure to stay with 6 News here on air, online, and through our 6 News app as we continue to follow both the Spartans and Wolverines on their NCAA tournament journeys. Well, back here in mid-Michigan, dozens of people protested outside the office of Congressman Tom Barrett today. They're demanding he hold a town hall to speak with his constituents in person to hear their concerns about what's going on in Washington. Taryn Simmons spoke with protesters. She's here for you now with their message.
Siobhan, the protest was set up by the Blue Brigade and a group of Livingston County Dems.
Our judges, say our judges, say.
You are not there to represent Trump or Republicans. You're there to represent we the people. Amen. Of the United States of America in your district.
If he does not meet with us, I feel he's afraid of going in front of a general audience of unfiltered, unvetted people.
Curtis Hamilton and Dana Lee are 2 of nearly 100 people who set up outside Tom Barrett's Lansing office. The group delivered a petition with more than 10,000 signatures to his office.
We reserved a town hall with the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union in Lansing. And we told him that we're going to have a chair for him on April 22nd, asking him to answer the questions of the people that are concerned out here about cuts in veterans benefits, cuts to the EPA, which I'm certainly concerned about.
Lee says Barrett needs to show up for his constituents. They want answers about cuts being made by the Trump administration.
Cutting Medicaid and Medicare. The people in his district that need that, what does he need to say to them? That's what I want to hear from him.
Back on March 10th, Barrett hosted a town hall over the phone, but says there were technical issues. Still, his spokesperson says that more than 26,000 people took part. Lee doesn't want a phone call. She wants to talk to him face to face.
That is why we need a town hall. We need him to hear our voices. How can he represent us if he can't hear us? How can he hear us if he's got a telephone town hall that doesn't work?
Now, we reached out to Tom Barrett's office by phone and email, but have not yet heard back. The congressman spent the day in his district meeting with veterans in Livingston County and Ann Arbor. Siobhan, back to you.
Taryn, thank you. Well, President Trump announced today that Boeing has won a major military contract to build future jet fighters. During the Oval Office meeting, the President and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also denied a report by the New York Times that advisor Elon Musk was going to be briefed on top secret war plans. Erica Brown has more from Washington.
President Donald Trump announced a new $20 billion contract with Boeing to build the Air Force's next-generation fighter jets.
The F-47 will be the most advanced, most capable, most lethal aircraft ever built.
The F-47 will replace the Air Force's F-22 Raptor and is designed to fight alongside drones.
An experimental version of the plane has secretly been flying for almost 5 years, and we're confident that it massively overpowers the capabilities of any other nation.
This comes as the president and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth denied reports that Elon Musk would be briefed on plans for a potential war with China. Musk was at the Pentagon Friday
to talk about DOGE, to talk about efficiencies, to talk about innovations. It was a great informal conversation. The rest of that reporting was fake.
President Trump also told reporters he has the authority to invoke the Alien Enemies Act to deport migrants without due process, despite a federal judge's order temporarily halting the flights.
You can't stop that with a judge sitting behind a bench that has no idea what goes on, who happens to be a radical left lunatic.
The administration was back in court Friday, and Judge James Boasberg chastised the Department of Justice, pushing for answers about how those who could be wrongfully detained as a result of the deportations could challenge the actions. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Well, it is a sure sign that spring has arrived in Michigan. The Poe Lock is now open, marking the start of the 2025 Great Lakes shipping season. It's part of the Soo Locks in Sault Ste. Marie. The locks officially closed after the last vessel of the 2024 season on January 16th to undergo critical repairs and maintenance during the 10-week-long winter shutdown. Federal regulation establishes the operating season based on the feasibility of vessels getting around during typical Great Lakes ice conditions.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Our weather, too, also felt very spring-like across mid-Michigan today. We had a lot of sunshine and some really nice temperatures across the area. We made it up to a high in the mid to low 50s across mid-Michigan for our Friday, but notice on our high temperature trend, it is going to be a different situation as we move into the start of the weekend. Temperatures falling well below average for Saturday, only making it up into the 30s for highs. There is some really good news once we get into the second half of next week and even that following weekend. Temperatures will be rising well above average with another round of 50s and yes, even one 60-degree high temperature lying ahead. Outside right now, we are still seeing a fair amount of sunshine across mid-Michigan, partly cloudy conditions overall, but this cloud cover is beginning to increase. Temperatures in Lansing, 53 degrees, the same as our high temperature today, and it was incredibly breezy across the area. In Lansing, peak winds as high as 36 miles per hour, and Grand Ledge, 34 for your peak wind gusts thus far. We made it up to a high of 55 degrees today after starting the morning on a very chilly note. Morning lows only falling down into the mid-20s. In Jackson, we'll call this mostly cloudy. Temperatures currently at 51 after a high of 52, and that peak wind gusts at 33 miles per hour. A few other temperatures across the area. We're at 55 degrees in both St. John's and Owasso, 53 the current temperature in Mason, and 54 right now in both Charlotte and over in Ionia. As I mentioned, it has been very windy across the area today, and we're going to hold on to these breezy conditions as we go throughout the rest of the evening and even overnight tonight, with overall wind gusts still hovering between 25 and 35 miles per hour. The good news is, even though we breezy conditions in place, satellite and radar doesn't show a whole lot in the way of active weather in our forecast for at least the time being. Currently, we're just seeing increasing cloud cover across the region, but notice those rain showers beginning to develop to our west. That rain will slowly work its way into our region overnight tonight, and it's just going to be a quick dose of a couple of light sprinkles. But as temperatures continue to fall across the area, we could mix in just a couple of wet snowflakes across the region, but we're not expecting anything in terms of accumulations. We kicked that out by early Saturday morning, and Saturday, despite the fact that temperatures, yes, are going to be well below average, it is going to be a very nice day, mostly sunny to partly cloudy conditions across the area before our next chance for precipitation moves in on Sunday. This system going to arrive Sunday afternoon. Even though Precision Cast showing this as mostly snow, I do think during the day on Sunday it will be mostly rain across the area. We transition over into snow Sunday night and then into early morning on Monday. Temperatures tonight falling down into the low 30s. Again, a few showers going to be possible across the area. And then for tomorrow, we make it up to a high of 36 degrees, and it is going to be breezy as well. Notice those winds out of the northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. So wind chills likely in the low 30s to upper 20s. A few chances for precipitation on Sunday and as we start off our Monday. But after that, temperatures slowly beginning to rise, mid to upper 40s Tuesday and Wednesday. 50s returning to the forecast by Thursday. We do still have the chance for precipitation next Friday and as we start into the following weekend, but at least that rain will come along with a high of 60 degrees.
That always helps. It helps a lot, actually.
Yeah, just having that 60 there is hopeful, and just hopefully we can kick out that rain too.
Yeah, and if we get, days where there's, sunshine, then rain, then sun, that's all good too.
Yeah.
The sun really just I don't know, it wakes us back up.
It uplifts your spirit.
It does, Kendall. Thank you so much. Well, coming up here on 6 News at 5, changes are coming to the Social Security Administration. We'll tell you how that could impact people receiving benefits when we come back. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching. That and more is still to come.